1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yo, what's good, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters. It was the box. It was the box. That wasn't me. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and review on these bad boys right here. This is one of the few times when I feel like they did it better than the first time with these guys. Like I f with these hella hard. This is the Bel Air, or Alternate Bel Air Air Jordan 5. So first things first, these guys release on Saturday over at phenomglobal.com. Retail price is going to be $190, and for what you get, I actually like what they provide. For one, the colorway just looks great. For two, the materials are surprisingly good. This is almost as good as the leather that was on the OG colorway that just dropped recently. However, these don't have quite the bright shine to it, which I dig. They're still a little glossy, but not like the other ones. Now, before we get into all of the details, these are a alternate version of an original retro colorway. So not an original colorway, but it's an original retro colorway. So instead of them re-releasing the first version of the Bel Air, they're doing this alternate version, and I personally like these better. I think that these look great. Fun fact, my very first trip on an airplane, for one. For two, my very first trip, actually, it was like my first ever of almost anything. You know what I mean? Like it was my first trip to New York, my first trip on a plane. It was my first trip, what the f do they call them? You know what I mean? Where like you were invited by a brand to be like, hey, come check out what we've got coming out. So it was my first one of those. And it was from Jordan Brand, which was pretty cool because as a lifelong like MJ diehard and purchaser of their products, it was really cool to get recognized by the brand. Plus it was really cool to see New York and all that stuff. It was one of the first open runs that I got to do with the brand, which is really dope. The event for me revolved around the, if you guys remember, the CB3.7s. I absolutely loved those, by the way, but that was part of the original Bel Air collection. There was two colorways of those. I loved both of them. And then there was the Jordan 28 SE Bel Airs, which was like a camo print with all of these colors in it. And then there was the retro version, or the retro product with the same theme, and that was the Air Jordan 5. That, believe it or not, I didn't like. They created this really dope room that I thought that I took pictures of, but I can't find any of. But it looked like every 90s kid's room, man. It was sick. They had a real NES there that you could play, and they had all the legit posters, the bedspreads, like the comforter covers, and everything was straight ripped out of like a magazine from the 90s, and just, it was so dope. But again, I just didn't like the original shoe. I thought that the gray looked weird with the rest of the bright colors, because gray was such a muted color, and it just wasn't, to me, very like representative of the time. Now, as for these guys right here, the outsole and the midsole, the tooling, if you will, is exactly the same as the first version of the shoe. So they use the same exact colors, and they look a little bit different. Obviously, like they can't recreate it one for one after all these years. So maybe the green's gonna be a little bit brighter here than it was on the originals. I don't know. All I know is that they're essentially the same thing. I love the two-tone shifts. You got the basic purple blocking, but you have the pink here, you have the blue over there. I just think it looks dope. And I love the splatter on it too, man. The splatter really does it for me. I don't know why. It's always been a thing for me, and I just really like it. Even the Jumpman branding and the 23 branding right there, same exact thing. You got that shadow effect that they had on the originals. You got the two-tone colors, so one color on one shoe, different colors on the other. I believe that those were supposed to represent how he would wear like the white colorway, the white fire reds that just released, plus the black and metallic silvers, and he would wear them at the same time. So one of each shoe. Now the insoles on these are basic ortholites, no polyurethane insoles, unfortunately, so that's a bummer. But the midsole itself is polyurethane, and it feels nice and fluffy. It feels almost, dare I say, like 90s style versions of the shoes, which is kind of crazy because they've been using hard as rock polyurethane for quite some time because it stops the crumbling. I don't know if this is going to enable crumbling years down the line. All I know is wear your shoes before it happens, folks. Enjoy them while they last. Tech specs on the Air Jordan 5 include the polyurethane midsole, air sole in the back, which is visible. There's also an air sole in the front, which is not visible, and that's pretty much it. No board last on these either, for those of you wondering. If you caught the original Fire Red 5 video, which is not the Fire Reds, but whatever, like it's the OG colorway. I don't know what the hell to call them anymore. The brand confused me by calling them OG Fire Red. It's just like, what does that mean? There was a Fire Red for 20 plus years.
The shoe formerly known as
Fire Red, or no, because they were never known as Fire Red. Man.
Silver tongue.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Can't even use that because you're wet wiping yourself.
Which sucks because I was going to segue that into the
I mean,
tongues.
it's up to you, but...
Hey, man, look, it's hot in here, dude, okay? I'm just a little glossy.
We're reaching 108 this weekend.
Yeah. speaking of tongues, these feature really nice tongues in my opinion, because these are the tongues that I love on the Air Jordan 5. It's that kind of like satiny looking tongue. They're soft, they're fluffy, they're comfortable, and I really like these. Don't get me wrong, I love the reflective stuff, but they don't make them like they used to, unfortunately. So some of the reflective tongues nowadays look more like aluminum foil than the soft matte reflective material that they used to use back in the day. So if I was going to pick a style of tongue, it would be this. Yes, you lack the reflective, but you get much more comfort out of it, I think. And again, you got the mismatched branding and all that stuff. Something that I think is really interesting, which is a dumb little detail to focus on, but you know, Jordan Brand's been doing a great job at not just the quality of the shoes lately as far as materials go, but they've also been like a stickler with the details, which is really cool. So OG colors get polyurethane midsoles, there's OG branding, yada yada yada. These guys though, they have the Nike little plastic tab right there, and when they feature that, usually it's because there's Nike Air branding, because it's an OG style of the shoe. This one though, it says Nike on there, but it's supposed to have a Jumpman, because that's what they had been doing with non-OG colorways. They also come with extra laces, by the way, so they come with these Volt green laces, which are, I don't know, I wouldn't put them in there. I really like the way that these look as is. This is one of them times when I'm just like, those are dope. Now the material quality, like I was saying earlier, is very similar to what they put on the OG Fire Red, whatever you want to call them, without the, you know, significant gloss. I love the way that this looks. I love the texture that they put on the PU coat, or the white coating on top of it. However, it's not like the best, I don't want to call it craftsmanship, but it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of craftsmanship issue and a little bit of material quality issue. So while the material quality is nice, this guy right here, I had to get a separate shot on the table and like shadow it out so that you can see the bump in it. But that right there is a flaw in the leather. So it's not necessarily Jordan Brand or the factory that put these together's fault. It's just that that's a natural blemish, I guess you can say, with leathers. So a lot of times, I've said this before years ago, but a lot of times they use split grain leather. So the way that the US government explains like what you can call something is very loose. You know what I mean? Like, so like they say like this is full grain leather, even though it's not. But according to the government, by its standards, almost like the FDA and its food.
How many bugs you can eat?
Exactly. This is just like, oh, this is full grain leather according to the government, even though it's not quite exactly true. This is a top coat, basically a thin coat, the thinnest layer that you can get almost of the hide, because they saturate in chemicals, they bathe it, they wash it, they tumble it, and then it's like that, you know what I mean? And then they start sheeting it. And some of the best sheets are full grain, and they go to different places. Companies like Jordan Brand will use the thinner stuff because it's cheaper and all of that, but still gives you that same leather effect. And so sometimes you'll get a blemish, which is what this is. So it's probably a vein in like the cow's neck. Now this guy right here, this is just a up. Okay, so that's a craftsmanship issue. I don't know what happened. Somebody like had like a tool in their pocket and sat on the material and they still decided to use it. That would technically, like in the 90s, this would be a B grade. A little bit different than today's standard of B grade, which I don't want to actually get into because that's a big mess.
Alrighty then.
But that's just a little rundown on leather, how it's manufactured, the difference between craftsmanship and material quality. So the craftsmanship is material quality is I still think it's nicer than a synthetic though. So I'd rather them use this than some cheap ass cardboard or vinyl. Now, as far as their fit is concerned, I would go true to size. They don't fit big like the OG Fire Red colorway. They fit just like the top 3 colorway. Those fit to me perfect. I love the way that those fit, and these feel exactly the same, just leather instead of, I almost called it Durabuck, but it's just Nubuck. They'll call it Durabuck, which is the same thing. It's synthetic Nubuck is what Durabuck is. This video is full of all kinds of fun facts.
I feel like we missed a perfect opportunity for this shirt you have back here. I feel like
I'm saving that.
Why?
I was.
Why?
Because I thought that it matched that shoe better.
No.
I wanted to. Here, let me just show it real quick. Okay, I bought this from a kid on Instagram. I really wish that he put his handle out here because I don't remember everybody's everything. Like I remember who he is and I talked to him. Let me see if I can find him real quick. Oh, here we go. I told you, man. I told you I was gonna find him.
I almost fell asleep.
That took a good minute. Man. Anyways, his name's Micah, okay? Micah Mitchell. If you wanted to follow him, you could. It's at Micah32 Mitchell. But basically, he came up with this design, and I thought it was really dope, and he donated all the proceeds to, I want to say it properly, actually, Black Lives Matter Seattle, to be very specific. So all the money went towards a good cause, but he made this right here. Shoot hoops, not people. And then the pole says equality. Little hand-drawn guy on there. He's also wearing some Kobe's. For those of you guys that don't know, the Adidas Kobe, the Kobe, that's what they were called. The Audi ones, yeah, those things, I just will never like those, but I can respect it. And yes, it would have gone perfectly with these, but I was saving this for a different video.
We'll see that on later then.
You will see this again. You will see it again.
I will say I'm super jealous of that kid's tie-dye skills.
I know, right? I can never get it like that.
We've attempted at least a handful of times.
That looks like that weird ass app that my kids were playing with, or our kids were playing with.
Yeah.
Which was a cool app. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about these. What do you think about them, first off?
I think...
Not the blemish, okay? Don't focus on the blemish. Focus on everything else first.
It's so deep.
I know, man. That's what she said. That's what she said. I got it right.
But yeah, I can see why you like them.
They're fun.
They're very...
They're very Zach Morris.
Oh yeah.
Dude, like this right here, I swear I've seen, and I walked by, I took pictures and I showed, was it you or was it Charles? I probably showed Charles. I'm sorry. But I was inside Marshall's. No, I showed you in person because you were with me. That's what happened. Okay, I got it. It's coming back to me. I was in Marshall's and they had this like rack of like windbreaker jacket things, those thin ones, and I swear each one of these patterns was a different, and I was like, ooh, those are cool. But I never ended up getting them because
one
I'm
of the
too
patterns was exactly from your Bring 'em Back segment.
Yes, and that pattern is exactly the Saved by the Bell. Well, not exactly, but it's very close. I really loved that series, but not a lot of people watched it. And
you can go check it out.
Yeah, it was a great series where I just talk about like I want to bring it back, but like I want to bring it back.
Bring it back.
Yeah, it was a series where I talk about shoes that are kind of forgotten that should be retroed.
But it's cool because some of them haven't they?
Since then, yes.
Yeah.
The Answer ones in a specific colorway. I think there was another one too, but I can't remember. But anyways, like I talk about like the Pippins and stuff like that. I just, it was a fun series. I just took a lot of time to edit, and that was the main thing. And so like when you focus that much work on it, but it doesn't pay back, like you're losing your potential profit. So I couldn't keep doing it, but it was really cool. Maybe now's the time to do it. I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, I just really like these. I think that they're hella fun. Again, I like the white upper. I think it's because I like white shoes versus like a black shoe or a darker shoe. Like if it's a black shoe, it's got to be a specific, like it's got to be like a memory, or it's got to be mad fresh. Like if you want to grab those over there.
Are they ready for it?
I don't know. I'm a little late, but whoa, I wasn't ready for it. I don't know if you guys want a video on these. Let me know. Obviously, it's very late, but
they're here.
This was a shoe where like it's a black base versus something like this was popping and fun and all that stuff. But this is one of those shoes where I was like, man, I need these, dude. Like these are so dope history-wise. You don't see them release PEs often, so I really like these. And again, if you want a video on those, I don't know what to do. Like smash the like button, which you should be doing anyways. Subscribe, which hopefully you've done already.
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment, which I hope you do too. Be engaging. But that pretty much takes care of it for these guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. Let us know what you think about these down below in the comment section. Are you copping or are you passing? If you're passing, why? Is it because pandemic? Is it because we can't wear them anyways? Is it because can't work? There's all kinds of reasons. Let us know. And until next time, guys, have a good one.